Welcome to the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
All right, this is the MarcWes Sports Podcast. I'm Marcus Benjamin. He's Wes Pierre. And we give you that real sports perspective with that South Florida flavor to it.
Already.
And this weekend, one of the classics is doing a reboot, you know? And this is a movie that I think everybody just loves, period. Don't matter if you was a immigrant or whatever, but it probably hits harder if you were. You know what I'm saying? Coming to America, man. It's a classic movie coming out finally this week on Prime. You know, if you got that Amazon account, you got it for the freeski beeski.
Got it.
So yeah, man, I'm excited about it. And I'm hoping, I'm worried, I'm excited, but I'm worried at the same time, because with movies that I love, like Coming to America, I just hope they don't mess it up. You know,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
The way the perspective that I have on a certain movie, because you came out with a new movie. For example, Rocky. That last Rocky, that Rocky Balboa was the worst. They got better when the Creed came out, and Creed 2 was good as well. Thankfully, those two movies kind of saved it. But that last Rocky Balboa put a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm hoping this Coming to America doesn't do that to me. The fact that Eddie Murphy's in it makes me feel good about the situation. So I definitely will be watching it. Classic lines from this movie, like you'll never, forget. Like his mom will call him Clay, I'm gonna call him Clay. There's just so many classic lines, and just Eddie Murphy's performance was probably one of the best in a comedy film of all time. So I'm excited to see that this week.
Oh yeah, definitely. Piggybacking off what you're saying, I'm ready to see it. I think most likely, we're probably gonna be watching that tonight, because it does come out today, so on Friday. So I'm going to watch it tonight, because I know somebody's gonna ruin it for me on social media or something. But yeah, going back to what you're saying, I definitely agree with you. Like, I want to watch it, but I do think that they need to knock it out the park, because if they don't, it's gonna leave me with a bad taste in my mouth. Same way how they did the Ghostbusters. They totally ruined that. And it had nothing to do with the women. It's just like the original. I can watch the original till this day and still be fine with it. And the crazy thing is, like, they didn't have that much help with the studios, with like 3D and different things, different enhancements. It was really more, you do it and that's what it is, and I think that, Eddie Murphy can, find a way to, again, like what you're saying, Eddie Murphy, he's in the movie, most likely it's going to be good. I think about Norbit. I think about every other Eddie Murphy movie. I really don't see an Eddie Murphy movie that I didn't like,
I did not like Norbit, though.
Which one?
Norbit, the one that you just said, Norbit?
Why? Refusia.
Terrible, bruh. Come on.
Man, you need to watch it again.
One bad movie, man.
Why you didn't like it?
It was just corny. It was corny as hell. I couldn't do it, man. I love everything else, though. I love Life. Boomerang is a classic. What else?
When he was a cop, 90210 cop, Beverly Hills Cop.
Classic. Trading Places. Classic.
Oh, Trading Places is like one of the best, if not. Well, Coming to America is one, but probably number 2 or 3. Yes, Trading Places. Yes, Mortimer. Yes.
Yeah. We're back,
we're back. But the crazy thing is, like, there's always place for error when you remake a movie. Like, you got the classic Chucky's, you got the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like I said, the Ghostbusters. You seen what they did with Lion King? Like, I'd rather watch the cartoon than the new.
What I was going to bring up, man. Like, I seen the new Lion King, and I was just like, I went into it with the same perspective. Like, please don't mess this movie up for me, man. And what did they do? They messed it up, man.
And the crazy thing is, Beyonce, like, she was not even like, she was just doing the voice, and she ruined that too. So
it was all because it was her voice. There was no knock on really her. If it was a different movie, it would probably be fine. But the fact that I know it's Beyonce. I know it's your voice. It's not the same voice for the first one. It ruins the effect for me.
Exactly. Me personally, the only good movie that she made was Cadillac Records. You know, if you didn't see that, that was a real good movie. Had to do with the music industry, but her acting skills were on point. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know, it really made you feel like she was Etta James.
She was pretty good in Dreamgirls too. She was pretty
I
good.
didn't watch it, so I can't really rate that, you know.
Good.
But yeah, going back to Coming to America, you know, was filmed in Rick Ross's house, you know,
I just
basically.
seen
Huh?
that.
Yeah, man.
Like,
You seen
man,
P. Diddy just went to his crib like, yo, looking like he's shocked, like he never seen this. Ain't you Diddy? Ain't you probably been in cribs like this before? At least I thought you did. But nah, it's the boss, Ricky Ross from Dade County with the big crib that everybody want to go ahead and see.
For everybody that doesn't know, yeah, they filmed some of the movie in Rick Ross's crib that's in Atlanta. From what I saw, it's the biggest house in Atlanta, period, which is saying a lot. I mean, Atlanta, I mean, come on, man. Like, how many famous people have lived there, or people with money? And for Rick Ross to have, like, I think it's something crazy like 102 rooms,
Rooms.
something like that. Come
I think
on.
it's 102 or 111. One of those two.
There's some schools that are not as big as that. Like, man, Rick Ross doing his thing. The chicken wings, you know, whatever.
Wingstop.
Yeah, Wingstop, you know, them pepper on the wings. Apparently, them things is fire because
You
off the
feel me?
chain, man.
That's a perfect example of how you need to be a king out here. You feel me? Of course, you know, someone that got it out the mud. You know, not like Zamunda, but you know, technically he got it out the mud, and now he's living like he's king of Zamunda with his I think 200 to 300 acres of land, 102 or 111 rooms. You got people like P. Diddy, someone that people consider one of the moguls of the music industry that's been, you know, in the likes of Biggie and other people, you know, and he was in shock and amaze when he went to Rick Ross' house. Basically, yes, you're in Zamunda. You feel me? But yeah, I do hope the movie is a real good movie. I know I'm gonna laugh, but you know, we have different characters that are more to our age now that, you know, that's still out, you know, doing stand-up and certain things like that. They're still, you know, in the comedian life, you know, not just in the movies, but, you know, stand-up comedy. So hopefully that will bring a different energy, you know. Hopefully not only Eddie Murphy will be making me laugh, but you know who I want to kind of see? The guy that was singing, the one that was singing at church. I know it's Eddie Murphy. When he dropped the mic, you feel me? Like
Sexual Chocolate.
Sexual Chocolate, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? He gotta still be in the movie,
That
find a
boy.
way. Oh, okay. You know, so yeah. I'm happy we brought this topic up because I kind of was not even focused on Coming to America today because, you know, we got you remember I told you Black people, you know, and I'm trying to schedule working with Black people to be on the same time and the same page. And yeah, so, you know, I got a lot on my plate, but yeah, good thing Marcus, good thing Chris, you know, I'm definitely watching that tonight. You feel me?
Yeah, and we'll talk about that probably on the next podcast and just kind
Yes.
of say, you know, what we thought of the movie. Hopefully, it's a good one. Of course, there's royalty in that movie, and royalty when it comes to basketball will be on display this weekend. It's All-Star Weekend. Unbelievably, it's March and it's All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend is supposed to be on my birthday weekend, which was 2 weeks ago, and now it's like here, you know, like on some makeup stuff, you know. So now the All-Star game is where, if nobody doesn't realize, for the past couple of years they've been doing it where almost like a pickup game where you pick a captain and that captain picks their team. The two captains for this year was Kevin Durant and LeBron James. Kevin Durant injured at the moment, so he won't be playing in the game, but he still picked his team.
That don't even make sense.
Yeah, I thought it didn't make sense either, but you know, it is what it is, whatever. Anthony Davis, also injured, will not be playing in this game. But LeBron James And I mean, looking at these teams, I honestly think LeBron James picked a better team. The starting
Where?
five to me is better than Kevin Durant's starting five.
I
I
think
think
really.
On LeBron's team's got Nikolai Jokic, obviously probably one of the best big men in the game right now, and you got Luka Doncic, who is very versatile as far as a scorer and facilitator. You got Curry, the best shooter in the world. You got Giannis, who is still probably the most athletic player in the league right now, and then LeBron. Like, come on, like that starting five alone would, I think, would dust Kevin
Oh,
Durant starting five.
I doubt that because me personally, like I said, I think Stephen Curry is the best shooter, 3-point shooter in the NBA history, probably even as well. But I think Kyrie has a little better game than him. If you're not talking about the shot, because Kyrie got a shot also. It's not as good as Stephen Curry, but he got better dribble, than Stephen Curry. He plays better defense than
Debatable,
Steph Curry. Huh?
debatable too.
You said what?
That's debatable to me.
I think Steph Curry is a liability on defense every year in playoffs.
I
People
think
go
Kyrie's the
after
same way.
him in playoffs. The only reason why he don't
I think
get fouled
Kyrie's
out,
the same way.
huh?
I think Kyrie is the same way. He's a liability defensively.
Yeah, but we agree on that. But I'm saying I'm comparing these two players. I'm not comparing them to the whole league. I'm just saying, okay, I think that Steph, yeah, you got a better shot. Kyrie, your shot is not that off from Stephen Curry. Kyrie, I think you got better defense than Stephen Curry, even though your defense ain't that great also, but you better than Stephen Curry when it comes to defense. Ball handling, I think that Kyrie is a better ball handler than him, Uncle Drew, and yeah, Stephen Curry is not a slouch, but he don't have the ball handling skills that Kyrie has. The only thing that I think that Stephen Curry got better than Kyrie is the shot. And you got to understand, Kyrie is no slouch. Kyrie won LeBron James that championship against the very person that's on his team, Stephen Curry. So, and I think it was in front of Stephen Curry. Also, again, proving my point, liability on defense. When it comes to Joel Embiid, yeah, I do think that Nikola Jokic is a better all-around player than Joel Embiid. But I do think Joel Embiid, just because he has that size, and again, Jokic is not no small guy. You feel me? But he came back, this year, or was it even last year? Came back during the pandemic, and he lost so much weight. So that size that he had, that was kind of like Embiid, he lost that, and he's not going to be able to overpower Embiid. But again, we do know it's All-Star game. They do not play any defense. So as far as, it's going to be like a real All-Star game like in the 90s, nah. So I give you what the
The
joke.
last one was pretty good because of this format. I don't know if you remember, it came down to the last second for the most. It was the most defense I've ever seen in
Yeah,
our game, to be
of
honest.
course. But we're not going to see that this year. They didn't even want to play this year. We're not gonna see no defense. The King James didn't even want to be there, so his heart is not even in it. He already clearly said that. We had the debate last week regarding that. So yeah, you got Nikola Jokic. I think is a better player. Joel Embiid, I don't think is too far off from him. If he's not that injured, if he's not always injured in the season or taking time, because of his knees or because of his foot or whatever like that, I think that they're an even scratch. I do give Jokic the upper hand, but it's like an even scratch. When it comes to Doncic, you feel me? I think Tatum is better than Doncic. You feel me?
You're crazy.
What?
You're
He'll be
crazy.
able to go past him. He'll be
No
able to
way.
go around him. And again, am I
No
saying
way.
Luka is garbage when it comes to the 3-point line? Luka is yes, he is. He's like 30%.
Is he really?
Yes, 30, if
I'll
not.
have to look that up. But
Look it up. Look, matter of fact, we're on the computer right now. You got ESPN. You go ahead and look that up while I go ahead and continue with my point. You feel what I'm saying? Because I think he don't shoot 40%. He ought to shoot 20 or 30%, in the 3-point line. Also, he's shaky at the free throw line. So yeah, he's great with all that other stuff, but there's a lot of flaws to his game that people don't really talk about. You feel me? What is his 3-point average that when you find it? Just blurt it out. You feel me? What is it? Is it in the 40s?
0.328.
0.3 exactly. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when people talk about him, it's just like, like we never see people out west play like that because they play so late. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't watching no 10 o'clock game. You feel me? If the Heat are playing, unless it's a outstanding game. But again, he's not that great. He's a great player. Assist, when it comes to certain things, but his free throw line is trash and his 3-point is trash, but they won't tell it to you. They will make it seem like he's just this great player, like he's Larry Bird. No, you're not Larry Bird. Now, again, I'm not saying you're a slouch, but the way Marcus was confident, like, no, he's thinking that you 40, 50% shooting at the 3, because that's what a great player, the way they promote him.
But you're comparing Jason Tatum, though, right? So we'll compare those two side by side.
Okay.
I'm a see if they, but when I look at their game and I see the consistency, I see more consistency and I see more of a dog from Luka Doncic than Jason Tatum. And I disagree with you saying that Kyrie is kind of equivalent to Steph. I disagree.
He is. He just don't got the shot. But his shot, let's just say Steph Curry's shot is 100%. Kyrie's like at 90, 92, 93.
As far as handles, I think they both are equal when they're comes to handles.
Man, Chris gonna have to pick up a picture of Uncle Drew. You feel me? Pick up video of Uncle Drew. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Video of Steph Curry as well, man.
Oh, no.
Like the high yellow dudes.
Come on, man. No.
But
no.
It is. Hold on. Let's see. We got what we got here. We got Jason Tatum. All right, so he's better from the free throw. I give you that. Jason Tatum is 85% from the free throw. Luka Doncic is 75% from the free throw.
And that is not 75%. The great players are in the 90s. What is Stephen Curry free throw line shooting? Probably like 98. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, kid. Like, no.
From three, Jason Tatum
got him
36.8 compared to Luka Doncic 35.7.
Again.
By 1 percentage point.
It don't see now you're trying to nitpick. Right now we're going on who got the better percentage. He got it. We don't need to be like, oh, it's half a point or it's a point better. We're going on stats.
I'll give it to him. No problem.
You know what I'm saying?
But from the field,
mm-hmm.
Luka Doncic has him. So Luka Doncic is scoring 47% from the field. Jason Tatum, 43% from the field. So overall shots,
I'll take that.
Is better Luka Doncic.
I'll take that. You know why I take that? Because
we go to
already know. Huh?
We go to assists. Luka Doncic, 9 assists a game. Tatum, 4.5 assists.
But Tatum is not a point guard. He's a small forward. He's not in gun. You can't know. You're not gonna get. You're not gonna get how many centers you see with 10 assists. They'll get the rebounds, probably not the assists. They may have like 2 or 3 assists a game. Small forward, same thing. Shooting guards and point guards.
And then points per game, Luka Doncic, 28.6, Jason Tatum, 24.9.
Okay.
So Luka Doncic scores better from the field, and he scores more and assists more. So that's the reason why I give Luka Doncic the edge over Jason Tatum. He just does more on the field. Now, he does need to work on his free throws. I give it that.
And the threes.
Throws. I mean, the threes is just 1 percentage point. I mean, that's not really a big difference. But the free throws, I give you that. Jason Tatum, clearly the better free throw shooter. But Luka Doncic, to me, clearly the better overall player than. Damn, I wish I could curse on this, man.
Hey,
we're trying to clean it up. We're trying to keep it clean.
Clean it up real quick, But we're trying to have these sponsors come and give us a payday. But regardless of the fact, that one is close still. you got Doncic, and I still got Tatum. You know,
Yeah.
I do agree with you saying that. You know, Doncic,
Give me the
Luka.
Europeans. Give me the Europeans over the Americans, bro. Give me Giannis. Give me Doncic. Give me Jokic. Give me those Europeans.
Damn, I didn't even notice that till you just said that. That's true. LeBron ain't stupid, but again, I still do. And again, Bradley Beal. Okay, you know, he's good. You know, I don't think that he's great. I do think that Damian Lillard is better than him, but I do think James Harden is like Damian Lillard. Not Damian Lillard. I'll still choose Damian Lillard. You know, don't get me I'm twisted, but James Harden, he's no slouch too. So, and I do think that Devin Booker is better than Ben Simmons, like hands down. Chris, let me see. Jaylen Brown, I think Zion is better than Jaylen Brown from the Celtics. You know, matter of fact, you know, I think Zach LaVine. You don't think he's better than fucking Sabonis? My bad for cursing.
I mean,
then you got Julius Randle. You got Vucevic. You feel me? That guy from Orlando. Been balling. Every time Miami Heat play him, he always giving us a hard time.
I take Rudy Gobert over Vucevic.
Really? Like you're gonna take the person that spreaded COVID to the world? You're gonna take him?
Hey, that wasn't his fault, man.
It was his fault. You didn't see him touching the mic. You feel me? Going crazy.
That wasn't his fault, man. Come on, man.
And Donovan Mitchell. So, hold up. You don't think Donovan Mitchell is better than Chris Paul? We just spoke about this guy that just scored 50 points multiple occasions.
Yeah, of course. But
you know what I'm saying?
He's on the bench.
So if like who on the second half is better than anybody on the left?
Dame
Lillard only.
Dame and Rudy Gobert. That's it.
Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, like Vucevic shoots better than him. You can look that up too. Vucevic is a big man. That's the truth. He's just like Jokic, but with this three. Like that's another Jokic, but not as great as Jokic. Like, come on, like, all right, like we know that LeBron ain't gonna really play like that. His heart is not in it. Matter of fact, we're gonna have a friendly bet. Friendly bet is
LeBron has too much pride not to play hard, especially since he picked the team. His name, it's Team LeBron. Of course, he's gonna play hard. He ain't gonna be out there just coaching. He's gonna play hard. Trust me. If
obviously,
he didn't have to play because he's technically kind of injured right now.
He's gonna be coaching. You know why? Because they still got Kevin Durant, someone that we know that is injured, and he's still on the roster. He shouldn't even must be picking. So again, him and LeBron probably got it out.
That shows you how much LeBron wants to play, because he could have sat this one out easy. He would have sat it down. He would have sat out only if Kevin Durant would have sat out, because Kevin Durant we know is injured. You just said LeBron James is injured, but I think that he's using that, you know, just not to play if he don't have to. But playing the game, an All-Star game.
He said he didn't want to play. So I'm just saying, like, it is what it is. Like, if he could have kept that comment to himself, but just because I'm just going on what he said. This is not my opinion. This is what he said. He said he did not want to play. So you can't knock me for saying LeBron Hart is not in the game if he said to me, you, and the rest of the world that he don't want to play that game. That's just what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Now, again, and I do think that he's not going to play because, again, Kevin Durant is still on the roster. If he's still on the roster, you know that, and he's injured, you know that they're just using them as props. LeBron as a prop, Kevin Durant as a prop, because they're the biggest names in the league right now, you know, and then you're going to have people watch because these people is going to be Kevin Durant versus LeBron James, because most people don't even know that Kevin Durant is injured or even know LeBron isn't injured. They're just going to be like, we're going to look at the lineup. It's going to be a good game, because they're thinking about what happened last year, like what you said with the defense and everything like that. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't think Kevin Durant's really going to play. I think they're really concentrating on, you know, winning a championship, whatnot. And, you know, since we do got the game coming up, we might as well pick it. It seems like you leading a certain way and I'm leading a certain way.
Yep, we could put bread on it.
You want to put bread on it?
We could put bread or shots. It don't matter to me. I mean,
all right. I mean,
but I don't want you to lose and got to take 3 shots. And then I put you on the road. And then I'm the reason why somebody get into a car accident. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell my wife. I'm gonna tell Wes, made me take these shots. That's why, I was out there acting a fool. But nah, no drinking, driving, no one to say when, whatever. But yeah, I'm willing to put a little wager on it. We could work out a little something.
Okay.
But because I feel like Team LeBron is going to win this game. Now, I'll tell you the players that do scare me though, and you name some of them that do scare me in this bet if I took it, which I'm gonna take it. Donovan Mitchell, the one that you said, like Donovan Mitchell is one of those players that can get hot and can score from anywhere on the court. James Harden is another one of those players that when they get hot, they are, scorching.
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker is another one of those players you can be very fearful of. Bradley Beal has been like on fire this season when it comes to shooting the basketball. Those are the
Kawhi Leonard, the guy who's going to be guarding LeBron James.
At all.
He guards LeBron James. They don't like each other.
Yo, Kawhi Leonard is the type of guy that's going to take some plays off in an All-Star game. He doesn't really care that much. Look at his face, bro. Look at his face.
So you're saying, see, that's crazy. See, that's why I kind of be having something to say about everybody, because when LeBron clearly said he don't want to play, right? You're over here saying, oh, no, you don't think that he's going to show out. And then when Kawhi, I talk about Kawhi, the guy didn't even say that he didn't want to play. And you're like, oh, he's going to take a few. Like, really?
Plays off. He's on the maintenance plan. He doesn't even play a full season.
Hey,
he's not about that life. He's only
did it work? Hold on. Did it work?
Did what work? The maintenance plan?
Yes.
Of course it worked. And he's going to continue to do that during this All-Star game. That is what I'm saying.
He's just going to go ahead and do what, LeBron is doing what he like, damn. Kawhi done went ahead and did this and he won rings. And I'm over here breaking my back playing every second of the game. Man, I'm going to take off too, man. Forget it, man.
Hey, and one thing I do hate, and this is something that we were talking about in the pre-show, was the fact that LeBron James picked Paul George, Yep. So that kind of worries me too. And Wes, I'm going to let you kind of really explain what really went down.
So basically, LeBron James had a comment. Let me go ahead and try to read it so I don't, say something wrong. LeBron was like, hold up, here you go, pull it up. Of course, when you put things up on your phone, all these ads want to pop up. All right. It says, LBJ, this is what LeBron quoted. It says, and it's still up on Twitter. LeBron said, the only time I'll root for this guy or this team, because we are enemies. He laughs, ha, 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 LeBron. And then he said, nah, just making fun of it. I'm going with Paul George, PG-13 from the Los Angeles Lakers. So again, going back to what I was saying, like you got to understand, you got to take everything in context and you got to know the history. Paul George, LeBron wanted Paul George to come to LA. He said, nah, I'm good. He went to go play with Chris Paul. And then when it was time for him to probably come back and play with LeBron again in LA, he said, nah, again. He went to LA, but he chose who? Kawhi, the guy that take on breaks during the season and have the maintenance program. You know why? Because he's seen the maintenance program worked in Toronto and it worked again. It worked. How many times over Toronto? Twice?
I think it was once. Yeah, he only played one season there and won a championship.
And then he did the maintenance program with the Spurs, and he won with the Spurs also.
He didn't win, but that they didn't want to do the maintenance program with him, and that's why he left.
Okay, yeah, definitely. But still,
seasons two and a half, I guess.
But the maintenance program worked. It worked last year. It's just Paul George. He turned into George Paul. You feel me? And he lost the game again. Paul George turned into George Paul.
Why you calling him George Paul, bro?
Because he was gooking. You feel me? Like any guy that wife's a stripper that your homeboys was getting lap dances from and throwing bread and probably tapped, you feel me, in the champagne room. No sex in the champagne room.
That's a
Again,
lot. There's some sex in the champagne room.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I know Marcus is not gonna wife no stripper. Now, again, you gotta understand everybody got their own way of making money. But us, I know you move a certain way. I move a certain way. Chris move a certain way. So I know we're confident that you're not gonna go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? Even though that stripper may be morally and have morals and they see God and all type of no. You feel me? We're not gonna move like that. He chose to do that, and then he got heckled by fans. He got heckled by. You remember when he was blowing, saying bye to Damian Lillard, and then Damian Lillard what came out and him and his family, the same person that we both said that on your team that you think is gonna win, he came with the low blow and brought up your personal life. Having kids with this stripper. And then when that came out, it went downhill. Downhill all playoffs. Barely could score. I'm like, what's going on? To the point where he apologized. He started apologizing to the people on the court that he made fun of because people wasn't having no filter with him. They're like, okay, you want to play like that? All right, we're going to go ahead and go into your real life. You feel me? It's not like they're talking about a death in the family. It's just jokes on what we're just saying. Oh, you turned a hoe into a housewife. Basically, that's the joke, and hopefully,
yeah, but I brought that up because that makes me nervous because you don't want that type of tension on your team. You don't want to be dribbling on the court. You got double teamed and you see Paul George over there and he, just let it go out of bounds and just make you look bad. Like that type of tension to go in with it is something. It was
LeBron
on LeBron James.
LeBron.
Sometimes he says the right thing, sometimes he says the wrong thing, and this time he said the wrong thing because this is a time if you're gonna pick him, you're already giving props by picking him to be on your team. Just leave it at that and keep it moving. Now you making it a thing. You're making it about yourself, and that's the type of thing that irritates me about LeBron. Sometimes he just makes situations all about him. He's doing
exactly. You don't see what he's doing. Giannis last year said, "I don't want to play with them. I don't practice with them neither." LeBron be trying to get certain inside information by watching you practice, by watching certain things. So all the people that's a threat of him winning another championship, he chose them on his team. Yeah. Paul George, he's going to go ahead and get certain things from Paul George. Paul George, please don't be your normal self. Be George Paul. You feel me? Giannis, do what you normally do. Don't do any extra stuff. Just give it to them. You feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, LeBron is trying to learn certain things from you while you're practicing as a team. Certain, because again, when you practice, it don't matter. You learn something for a day, a week, you're going to pick up something. He's trying to pick up something to get an edge when it comes to regular season and playoffs, because that's how LeBron works. You got to always understand LeBron, even with the comment that he said about Paul George, he's meticulous in what he say. He don't say anything without doing research, without really thinking about reactions and this, that, and the other. If
he is meticulous, like you say, then wouldn't he think to himself like, hey, me saying something like this is going to be detrimental to my team? Like me saying oh, we used to be enemies, ha ha, like it's funny. I'm sure Paul George don't think that's funny, and you pick him to be on your team, you already have that tension, and I know you want to win as much as you want to win everything, LeBron. Why would you do that and make your teammate look bad or make it seem like it's a story?
The same way he bumped
us to talk about,
the same way he bumped Spoelstra, the same way he made Pat Riley go all the way to LA knowing that he was not going to sign with the Miami Heat. This is what LeBron does. You feel me? So when he do things like that, it's not a surprise. It just proves my point about why I dislike the guy. Now, again, I do like how he built the school and certain things that he do. But LeBron, like, look, man, hey, it is what it is, man. Loyalty is everything to me. And once you break that, it's hard for me to go ahead and forget what you did in the past, even though you wind up doing other things positively for the community and all type of different things. I just still see you a certain way.
I got to give LeBron James his props in other areas, definitely. I actually started watching Top Class. I don't know if you know about that, but it's basically kind of a documentary on this mega high school basketball team that includes Zaire Wade and, little LeBron. And by the way, little LeBron
He
ball.
just
I don't know
he
if
balled. He balled. He's a baller, but he just tore his meniscus.
I mean, but he's only 15 years old. He's gonna recover from that. But like from what I've seen, I'm just like, it's just interesting to see how well he will develop. I think for him, just kind of handling the pressure, being LeBron's son and having the limelight on him, and for him to still be a really good player on a high level as a freshman last year. I mean, he's a sophomore now, and who knows if they're going to play basketball. They probably won't play basketball in California because that's where the school is. But my point of bringing this up is that he's the executive producer of this show. So obviously he's trying to bring limelight to his son, but it's done very well. I never watched the barbershop or whatever he had going on because I ain't
Me
trying
neither. I mean, he got that other show down here.
It's really good, and I recommend it. I'm glad he's using his money to do something that's actually of good quality.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, piggybacking off what you're saying, he actually brought light to the Liberty City Warriors, in Liberty City about their, I guess the football team, like Pop Warner,
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I kind of like got close to certain people that were, in that actual, documentary, for the work that I actually do. I was like crazy. I was like, ain't you in Liberty City Warriors? Little kids. I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah. It actually made them feel good, that someone, of my stature and what I do, in the community for the youngins to see that I seen them on TV and they're kind of famous type, so yeah, LeBron, I do salute you with that. You feel me? Because not only did I salute you more with that one was because you already left Miami like years before you even came out with that. You could have just turned your back and kept it moving like you did the rest of the Heat, not acknowledging what we did for you, but still, you still did what you need to do for the community. Well, not saying you need to do, you chose to do for the community, which was definitely a good thing. And I definitely got to give you like a pat on the back, popping bottles, all that for what you do.
Yeah, definitely got to give him props. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that Paul George situation because you need chemistry on your team to win, whether you're in the studio or whether you are on a team. And it seemed like there was some tension on the NBA set with Candace Parker and Shaquille O'Neal. Now, Candace Parker is, one of the greatest women's basketball players I think of all time. I used to watch her in college and she's still fine, and she bald, she left her husband. So I think she's still out on the market now, but she is on the inside in the NBA show with Shaq and D Wade and those guys. And there was some tension when it was a talk about pick and roll.
Yeah, I've seen that.
With the change in basketball these days, it's no longer, everybody knows it's no longer a big man's game, and if it is a big man's game, you better be able to shoot from outside. And a lot of these big men can shoot from outside, like Nikolai Jokic and Joel Embiid, and I think Dirk Nowitzki was kind of probably the first real big man that could shoot from the outside.
Don't forget Chris Bosh. You feel what I'm saying? Because they definitely ain't giving Chris Bosh his due, because I mean, they saying that, of course you got the big man, but Chris Bosh did change the league. You feel me? Like, of course.
I wouldn't say he changed the league.
Don't you notice once he retired, that's when you start seeing the big man, you know, is really the smart. Of course, yeah, Dirk, but Dirk they didn't really use Dirk like that. He did it when he had to. He didn't really. I mean, you got to understand who he had. He had Steve Nash, and he also had
He won a championship with Steve Nash, and he didn't win an MVP with Steve Nash.
Not saying that he won an MVP or anything like that with Steve Nash. I'm just talking about his game. His game, they didn't, you know, he was great because of his size, his shot, but he shot the three great, but that's not where he was at. He was not placed at the 3-point line. He was normally in the paint. You feel what I'm saying? In the paint, and then he came out and he shot like a 15-footer. He normally didn't shoot the three unless it was there. If it was there, hey, you know, it's going in. But that was not really his game, the 3-point shot, you know, like that. Now, you know, he had it and you know that he dropped it, but the way they used him in Dallas, they didn't use him like that because they had other people that can shoot the three, you know. So,
yeah,
so
I mean, I love Chris Bosh. Who doesn't love him? But being a Heat fan, but yeah, Dirk Nowitzki, I would even say Kevin Garnett, were more of the original stretch fours. And that is what Candace Parker kind of brought up, so to speak. I don't know if we can bring up that.
Oh yeah, I could definitely pull that up for you guys right now. You know, here it go right now. You know, I'll you know, play it for you guys.
Now. Ooh, like talk about it.
You ain't got nothing to say out of it. That's why I didn't act like that. You ain't got nothing to say. MVP candidate, dominating, playing like a true big man. He has the ability to step out, and he does that, but that's not all he does.
Right.
You saw the fadeaway, went inside with the spin moves, keeping his guys involved. I ain't got nothing bad to say about big fella at all.
Pick and roll. What was your issue?
They're switching.
But are they?
But the tough part in what Jokic does so well is they can't switch the pocket pass. It's impossible for their guys to switch that pocket pass because he eats you alive. So he plays with where he rolls to. Him and Jamal Murray, that pick and roll.
But here's the thing, though. They're switching. The big is switching lazy. So the big is switching so far back. If you're going to switch, you got to switch at the point of the pick and roll. So the guard can then pull back and then get Jokic. You can't allow him to dribble, and then talk about switch and get back to a 7-footer that shoots the ball the way he does. They have to switch at the point of the pick and roll.
You don't.
I'm talking about basketball. You know.
I know this is like some high level like.
No, I just want to know.
I think you switch at the point of pick and roll, but I do think that Jokic, like the NBA switches now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
why? Whatever happened?
Because everybody can shoot threes.
Whatever happened to man up?
Because you're going to be manning up trying to recover back to your man, and they're going to hit a three just like Jokic did.
No, but whatever happened to pre-rotating? Then
they move the ball around. And
you got 4 to 5 3-point shooters on the court. You ain't going to rotate enough time.
Not rotating. Not rotating.
Yeah, but you got to take that easy pass away. Like, if you ain't going to switch, you got to take the easy pass.
So that's what I'm saying.
But now you have guys that can throw the ball from one side of the court and find the guy in rhythm.
But that easy 1-5 pick and roll, the big is so far back like Shaq used to be all the time.
And we won a championship.
But here you go. Just throwing a shot at you, big fella. I love you.
No, but did we win a championship?
We did.
Thank you.
Because you started getting up on the screen. But you got to, as a big, you have to get up on the screen. You're not going to be able to switch that if you don't get up on the screen and switch it.
And Adam, the guard's got to get over.
And if you're not switching, the post players have to get up to the screen so they can recover back quicker to their man.
Right.
So you're right.
If you're higher up, you get back quicker.
Are we ever going to go back to where we man up and pre-rotate and show and get back?
It's not the game today.
Okay.
Two better shooters.
Nuggets won tonight by 31.
Everybody's not too good of a shooter, Candace.
You said nobody on the court.
Yeah, something to say, Marcus?
Everybody's not shooting like that.
I was just going to say, no, Shaq. It's not going back to that NBA.
Exactly. You're a dinosaur.
NBA, it's not happening.
Everybody in general, or you just said majority?
You just said.
On the Nuggets, if you pre-rotate, they're going to kill you from the corner three. What did they shoot from the three? Really? They shot 11 of 30. So they shot 36%. This is an off night.
Wade just looked at a stat and go, how did she do that
math
so quickly?
Was the number on?
Drop the mic.
That Tennessee math.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic. You feel me? So yeah, definitely, you know, Candace, she did her thing.
Gotta give her props. She knew what she was talking about. Us knowing Heat basketball, know exactly what she's talking about, because that's how the Heat play defense.
Mhm.
The Heat switch all the time. They're
Mhm.
always switching. You know, they for people who basic basketball fans who don't really know what they're talking about, pick is somebody who you come with the man, and then you switch over to the man that is open, because once you come and hit the switch, the other guy that is on you is running free. So you have to recover that man. And it's usually happening on the top of the key or by the 3-point line. It's not where the traditional big man like Shaq used to be, always in the paint. So, and there's so many things to kind of like take away from that video. It's almost like Candace didn't want to just say Shaq, hey, you're just a dumbass. You know,
You know how it is.
Back what she was what she was really feeling inside. It was almost like she was like, oh, I already know more on this topic than he does, because I've been in the NBA in this more recent NBA of switching back and forth as far as defense is concerned. And Shaq wants to bring it back to the old. Now, I will say that Jokic, when he is in the paint, he is kind of like that old school, I'm going to break you down, almost like Olajuwon. He's really, talented, getting his shot on one-on-one situations. But Shaq, man, he looked like a duck in this video. He looked like
an old dinosaur.
He wasn't a Hall of Famer that he is.
Exactly. You feel me? And I don't know, I'm not used to Shaq, putting his foot in his mouth, but after what he said to Mitchell, and we had to give him Duck of the Week for that one. And then also, saying what he's saying now, like, come on, clearly, Shaq. I mean, I know you're on that stage, you're on that platform, you're going to say certain things, but like, it don't make no sense. Everybody knows that the league changed. You feel me? It's a small man game. The big man is kind of gone. That's kind of why we got rid of Hassan Whiteside. Great, perfect fit for the Miami Heat if we're talking about the way that you want to play old school basketball. But that's gone, and you got to understand, like, that's kind of the reason why he did leave the Miami Heat also, Hassan Whiteside, because, we're asking him, to do certain things that a big man can't do. He's not going to ever be able to recover, and stick that guy that's 7 foot or, anyone, same size, 7 foot, a little bit higher, because that person is going to be at the top of the key. Imagine doing a pick and roll with Dirk at the top of the key, and you got, of course, you want to go ahead and scramble to the guy that's going to the paint, but again, you got a guy that averages, not like Nuka, he's deadly at the 3-point line, and he's deadly at the 3-point line. So you definitely gonna go ahead and be like, look, I gotta go ahead and guard this man, because again, it's a different game now.
Is more than 2, 3.
Exactly.
Points. Like, you got to guard that 3-point line, or you will lose in the NBA these days. And for Shaq to not realize that, or he just being petty about it, I think he's just being petty about it, and was like, oh, well, what happened to people just going one-on-one on players? I mean, that's with a pick and roll. How's that gonna happen? Especially with a guy rolling. Like, it just didn't make any sense. Like, and you could just see the expression on Candace's face, like, what is this guy talking about?
Like, I thought he knew basketball.
Oh, exactly. He's supposed to be one of the best
Hall
players
of Famers.
of all time, like, come on. Like,
hey,
it was just, it's a bad look on Shaq, but a good look on Candace, who was looking very nice. Their hair was nicely laid.
Oh yeah, she definitely was looking right. You feel me? But
if she had hairpins in that thing, but
I don't even know. Like, as guys, like, people be having wigs on, and I'm thinking that it's their hair, and then my wife is like, "That is a wig, babe."
yeah, same. Like, so, I'm starting to identify it a little bit better.
It's kind of like a UFO.
Yeah, sometimes those wigs are unidentified flying objects. Sometimes if they ain't on tight, You know, I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of videos where wigs just straight fly off, which is
Yes. Yes.
which is crazy, which is a nice transition to our next topic, which is my boy and your boy too, Baker Mayfield, out there in Texas, there with his wife leaving dinner. He tweets out all of a sudden and says, "Hey, I just saw a UFO drop down from the sky. Did anybody else see this?" When I first seen it, I was like, could it have been a UFO? Yeah, it could
Yeah.
have definitely been.
But just because it's coming from his mouth, everybody like he's crazy.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, oh, just because if Tom Brady said this, would everybody still be saying like, oh, this dude is crazy? I don't think
Nah.
so. I
If
think
Kyrie would have said it, they would have been like,
there's a lot of haters. And
exactly.
that's just the haters talking.
See, good thing about it, Marcus, like even with Kyrie, if it came from Kyrie, you remember he said the flat earth. Now, again, I don't know because I never been on a spaceship to look at the earth. So again, all I have is what I was growing up on.
Garbage though, man. Kyrie with the flat earth nonsense.
See, me, I'm always open for everything. My whole thing is I just don't want to make everybody look crazy. So you say something cool, I'll be like, I think that's kind of, I think he's probably like, don't know what he's talking about, but I'm going to go ahead and do my own research. And again, even when you do your own research, unless you are on a spaceship and you're, looking back at the globe or our world and you see shape of a globe like what we've been known for planets to be, then, I'm always going to be open on things. Same thing with UFOs. You feel me? Like, do I think that there are extraterrestrials? Probably so, because for me, I think that it's kind of like you got to be naive to think that we're the only people in the universe. Now,
I
that
agree with that 100%. Like the universe, from what I know, from what I've read and seen, is huge, and for us to be the only living,
the special
the only
ones.
place with water, like I don't know, man. I don't find that absolutely true. And there's really no way to really prove it unless we, find or go billions of miles away. So I'm always going to think that there are some kind of life form somewhere else in this big old universe that we have. But the flat earth nonsense, nah, man, I can't.
No. Yeah, of course.
Especially because of time zones, man. Like, how is it in China is nighttime, literally, and then over here is daytime, and you gonna tell me it's a flat earth? If it's a flat earth, it's supposed to be sunny everywhere, right? If it's a flat earth, right?
Yeah. See, but hey, I don't be knowing, So,
but yeah, I'm hating on my dog Baker, because he saw that he was there with his wife, so it's not like he was there by himself gooping out. I mean, I don't know. It could have been something else. It doesn't necessarily have to be aliens, but it could have been, I don't know, some kind of satellite that maybe just dropped or something like that. Could have been.
Nah, I'm not even gonna go with that.
It could have been anything.
I
unidentified flying object, and that's what it
I
was.
hear that, but I seen you on videos on YouTube where fighter jets followed unidentified flying objects, and the way they were moving in the sky was like impossible for anything that we created as humans, for it to not be like a UFO, like something out of this planet, or regular plane airplane pilots, seeing certain things like that and asking command center, do you see that on radar? And they're like, no, we don't see anything, or just different avenues and different people having their own encounters, just the plain fact that they're having them, there's thousands and thousands of sightings, then probably so, but me personally, I hopefully if they do exist, they're friendly. You feel me? Because I know with our technology, you feel me, like they're gonna outpower us anyway. But yeah, I mean, like transitioning to another topic, we're speaking about flying objects. We have Kevin Durant, it says Forbes.com says Kevin Durant is an investor of Skydio. It's a automated AI drone. that are being bought and used by Customs and Border Patrol to protect America's borders. Basically, the question that we all want to know is like, is that a bad look for Kevin Durant, or is it smart business investment, a smart business investment, or is it both? You know, because me personally, I'm gonna just go right into it. I think that's a smart move. You feel me? Like right now, I'm gonna tell you about myself personally. Like, I had a little money that, you know, I could have lost, like, you know, not lose any sleep if I lost it, basically. You know, I put that into stocks, you know. I don't really know stocks too much, but I know that, you know, I checked it within the last 5 years, certain stocks like American Airlines, Carnival Cruise, they were like in the 80s, you know, price-wise, value per share. You know, COVID hit, you've seen it at $9. So again, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I do think that it's probably going to go back to some type of normalcy. It may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, but it may happen 2 years from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, whatever it is. So me investing in that I, you know, didn't care if I lost that little money that I invested in, you know, it can wind up, you know, being a benefit for me and my wife. So when it comes to Kevin Durant, people that have millions and millions of dollars from the contracts and endorsement deals that they get, why not go ahead and try certain things out? Because you have different players buying restaurants, and they tell you that's the number one place that you don't want to invest in is restaurants, because it's a shaky business, especially right now with the COVID. If you was a athlete and you went ahead and invested in restaurants, look how much money you did lose, you know, because of COVID. You know, and then you have people that, you know, buy jewelry and they want to live this lavish life, and they never try a business venture like this. So yeah, I understand that, you know, it's for the Border Patrol. It's like, what do you want me to do? You know, you have certain people like that knocks Michael Jordan because he invests in jails. You know, now again, I feel you, but majority of us have J's on. You feel me? That's one. Also, two, is it his fault? Like, it's gonna happen. It's just like people on the block. If a drug dealer don't sell to that person, that person's gonna go somewhere else and they're gonna go ahead and buy it. Now, when it comes to Kevin Durant, if he's not investing, what, you think that business just gonna fail? No, it's gonna go ahead and continue growing, or if it fails, it fails. But again, you can't knock someone for trying something new, for trying to see if something that he thought of is gonna grow and help build wealth for his family for generations, you know. So it is what it is. It has nothing to do with illegal immigrants or anything like that. It's just like, look, you know, me, I invested into outer space, like spaceships going out of space from the United States. I invested in that. It was $16 a share. Guess how much it costs now? $54 a share. And I knew nothing about that, but I knew that, again, we're probably going to be going out of space. You had Donald Trump, former president of the United States. He started this military in the space program. So if he's crazy or, you know, or anything like that, like, we don't need to worry about extraterrestrials. We don't need to worry about anything from outer space coming to mess with us. He wouldn't have signed a military. Like, that's a different new. We got the Army, we got the Navy, we got one for outer space now. So again, I looked at that and I'm like, well, it's $16 and it wound up being a good thing for me. So I'm not going to knock Kevin Durant with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you kind of said it all with that. We already talked about LeBron James and his investments and what he's doing with his money. I mean, to be honest, these guys have more money than they could ever dream of, and that they could ever spend in their lifetime. So you might as well invest in something that will be beneficial to not only just yourself, but to other people around you, your country. And what Kevin Durant is doing, I totally agree with it. I'm totally backing it. I wouldn't mind investing in it myself, just because it's a situation as far as border control. It's not something that the U.S. seems to have a good hold on, or a good handle on. So it could only help, you know. So I kudos to Kevin Durant. and what he does. And before we move on to the next topic, I do want to touch on the 3-point contest and the slam dunk contest. Now, first off, I'm gonna name you the 3-point contest contestants. All right. So we got, my boy Steph Curry is gonna be in it, of course. Let me make sure this is the right year. Okay, yeah. So Steph Curry's in it, yeah. And then we got Jaylen Brown. Okay. We got Jason Tatum, your boy, Jason Tatum. We got Devin Booker, our boy. We got Zach LaVine, which is probably the most interesting person on this list to me. And then we got Donovan Mitchell. So just listening to the list, and I can give you the percentage of each one because of what I'm looking at right now. Who you think is going to win the 3-point contest?
Steph.
You think Steph's going to win again? I think he won one time, and I don't know. Like,
It's not a Steph or Donovan Mitchell.
That's who I think is going to win, actually. I really feel like Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker. Devin Booker, to me, is a real streaky shooter. So
those are the only 3 that has a chance. LaVine, like I don't even see him,
Hey, but get this about LaVine, and this is kind of the most interesting part about this. Zach LaVine is shooting 43% from 3 on 8 attempts per game. So percentage-wise, he's the best. He's better. As far as the players on this list, Steph Curry comes in second with 41% at 11.7 attempts per game. So, still Zach LaVine more efficient because he's shooting less and he has a higher percentage. So that brings up a point that I wanted to make, that we all know, well, some people know that Zach LaVine won the slam dunk contest. So I had to look up. I was like, has someone won the slam dunk contest and the 3-point contest? And the answer is no. There's no one who has ever won both. So if he wins, he'll be the first player in NBA history to win both the slam dunk contest and the 3-point contest. And he's an all-star, which is kind of crazy for a guy who really got popular on dunking on YouTube.
Look, man. Zach LaVine don't want to be in a 3-point contest. They asked him to play to be in the dunk contest, and I think he said, or was it Gordon? One of them declined because it's like, I think he won it once or twice. It's done, you don't got the big names, going like we said last week. It probably would have been better if you had people like LeBron James and Zion in the dunk contest. But 3-point contest wise is like, I think Stephen Curry is a prop. He's a prop. Like they're really putting him there like Kevin Durant, and LeBron James, the guy that said clearly that he don't want to play in the NBA All-Star game. I really think that it's gonna be.
Though. Watch.
I think it's
hard. He's gonna be out there on the floor diving for balls and everything.
I think it's gonna be boring. To be honest with you, I don't think it's gonna be
I think it's gonna be similar to last year.
I don't think this All-Star game is gonna be great. I think it's gonna be like people just like chilling, like a vacation. I know All-Star game is really like a vacation for the NBA players, but I really do think that like they're really doing this because of contracts, and who wants to play basketball when somebody told you that you could have been at the crib with your wife and your kids, for 6 days?
Yeah, a lot of people would, especially if it's your first time. You want to, yeah.
Really? MarcWes.
A lot. Hey, if I was an NBA player and I got selected to the All-Star game, I'm going to want to play in the All-Star game. This is like
you're probably talking about newer players like the Mitchells, the Donovan Mitchells, the Tatums, cool.
Right.
But veterans like LeBron, like they're not really trying to be in the All-Star game. Only reason, you got to be real. Like people like Embiid, you seen Jimmy Butler, he declined. He declined because they was not letting Bam Adebayo go also. But thinking about it, like Jimmy Butler, Kevin Durant shouldn't have been there. Jimmy Butler needed to be there. Why? Because Kevin Durant is injured. So you shouldn't have even been the person picking teams, But again, that's another story. But me personally, I don't think that the game is gonna be that great. You feel me? Like people that I want to see.
I think it's gonna be competitive. I think
You're
it's
talking about the All-Star game, or you talking about the 3-point
All-Star.
contest?
No, the All-Star game. I mean, the
Oh.
3-point contest. I mean, whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
that's what I'm saying. The
if
3-point
I catch it, I
contest.
catch it. If I don't, I don't. You know,
Exactly. We
it's more
both
about
are.
who wins. You know,
It,
like I do want to see who won it. You know.
yeah, of course. But again, think about it. I mean, you said All-Star Weekend. You know, it normally be on your birthday. You know, unfortunately, it didn't happen like that this year. You know, because of COVID, it's messing everything up. But like, what I want to talk about is like, yo, you know, All-Star Weekend. Where is it in Atlanta this year?
Atlanta, yeah.
Now you know. Now you know where script clubs be at. What I ain't gonna try to knock out Atlanta, but Atlanta, Miami, all of the United States got females located in it, of course, no brainer. But they do have a lot of gold diggers when All-Star game do go to a specific city.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, I'm just trying to figure out and see like who's going to be the victim, the victim this year, you know, because we do know the gold diggers are out. Then they lurking, you feel what I'm saying? And you know, I mean, I think Paul George got caught at the script club, you know, and you know, I do think that, what's his name? Ty Lue, you know, the one that wind up, you know, getting caught with the chicken wings, you know, in the bubble, you know.
Oh, you talking about Lou Williams?
Lou Williams saying Ty Lue. That's the head coach. I'm tripping, you know, brain fart. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm like, you know, a lot of these players, you know, they're gonna be kind of frisky. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, you got new players that they're not married, they don't have no women, you know. So if I was you guys, make sure one, you strap up. Two, make sure that don't get caught up in a scandal right now, because nowadays you're guilty until proven innocent. I don't want to hear no story about any of you guys, oh, you raped this female or this, that, and the other. You feel me? Because we do know the gold diggers are gonna get it how they live. They're gonna get it however they can get it. If it's basically creating a story, you know, so you can pay them so it won't be a story, that's one, you know. Or they're just like, look, we're gonna go for the juggler, you know, because again, my boy T.I. is going through that right now. Allegedly, he did what he did, and his wife. So we're going back to the same state.
I don't believe that, T.I.
Oh no, I don't believe that.
You know, just go ahead and fight that, because you know they trying to hate on you and your lifestyle, T.I. You know, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate T.I.
Oh yeah, man. Come on, man. I mean, we grew up off him. We grew up off him. You know, of course he's a little bit more well-mannered now. Use a lot more big words, you know. But you know, he always like
kept it real.
He kept it real, but you know, I got my iffies on him, you know, because any guy that get caught with not a sniper, but a silencer, they normally spend a time in jail. And you got caught with a few of them boys, and you was out sooner than later. So I'm not saying that you a snitch or this, that, and the other, but hey, there's some questions to certain things. You feel what I'm saying?
He just had some lawyers to beat the case, man. I think he probably, you know, what probably happened is that he probably said, hey, those wasn't mine. I was keeping them. Someone else took the charge for him, and then he paid the dude off. I think.
Oh, nah. It was his bodyguards who set him up. So that's what I'm saying. You know, I don't know. It is what it is. The past is the past. But yeah, guys, please make sure that y'all don't get caught in none of the bull. You feel me? Because
I don't think it really is, because it's COVID, you know, and you know they're on high alert. Anytime, remember, like James Harden got caught being on a video at a party, and he got flack for it. So I doubt they're really gonna be out and about partying like that. You know, I'm pretty sure there'll be some DM messages that will be going out, you know. to meet at undisclosed locations, believe that. But as far as like going to parties, being in strip clubs and stuff like that, this is not going to be that type of year. Next year, I'm sure we're going to be on and popping again. But
Okay.
talking about the NBA, obviously the NBA has one of the more famous logos, and when it comes to sports, it's actually Jerry West that's literally the figure of the NBA. And we were just just kind of throwing around the ideas, like, what if the NFL switched their logo to an NBA type of logo? Okay. So I don't know, would that work? Would that be something that would that work for the NFL, or should we just kind of stay with the shield?
I would stay with the shield, man, because I'm like, what's the point of changing it? I mean, I don't even really be paying attention to the logo much. I pay attention to the logo of my team. You feel me? If you're talking about the logo of the whole NFL, like, I could care less about that. Like, I barely even worry about it. You got the NBA logo there,
Yeah,
so that's the NBA logo,
They thought about putting Kobe on there, which I wouldn't mind at
I
all.
wouldn't mind neither, but why
But
change it though? I'm like, there's a lot of people that passed away. You know what I mean? Like, that's Jerry West, cool, but there's a lot of people that actually passed away and they didn't do that for us. So yeah, I understand that Kobe Bryant is tragic, but ain't no point in changing it. I think Doc Rivers had a comment to say about that. You know what I mean? And also when it comes to the NFL, like when it comes to the shield, like who cares about the shield? Like, I mean, look at Marcus's hat. It doesn't have the NFL shield. It has the Miami Dolphins. Loyalty. You feel what I'm saying? He could care. And the old logo. You feel me?
Back, baby.
Yeah. I really think that they're trying to make the old jerseys and the old logo like permanent instead of being like on anniversary. That would be great. You feel me? That all white, or even just that logo. Like, I think about Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, Brian Cox, you feel me? Sam Madison, Brock Marion, Patrick Surtain. You feel me? I think about certain people, Daryl Gardner, Tim Bowens, Trace Armstrong. Like, come on now. I could go down the whole list, man. That's how it's loyalty over here. You see the orange, you feel me, that we're wearing. Me, I'm wearing a UM right now. You feel me? But again, it's still all about Dade County when it comes to the MarcWes Sport Podcast. But again, I do think that they should just keep the shield the way it is, because again, like I said, like, we care less about the NFL logo. We really do care about the team logo. Because look, the Washington Redskins lost their logo and nothing changed. They're still garbage as a garbage team. But also, I do like the name, the Washington Football Team. It just, like, I don't even need a logo for them.
You like that?
Yeah, Washington Football Team.
I think it sounds weird as hell. Just everybody else has a name and you're just the Washington Football Team, like as if you're better than everybody else, or you're the original football team.
Hey, what you mean? I hear what you're saying. I feel what you're saying, but like, I like it. I don't really see, like, well, of course I can't see it because I'm so used to the Redskins, but if they, what they, never mind, because that's the same kind of analogy as far as, like, I like their helmet when it looks like Florida State helmet with the arrow.
Yeah.
I like that, but it's still kind of referencing Indian. So,
I think that's all right. You can use that logo, but you still can't use the name.
Just don't use the name, know.
I mean, just like Florida State. I mean, Florida State got the spear on their helmet,
But think about it. We're in Florida. We're a red state. Like, it's a good old boy state. So
especially in Tallahassee.
Yeah. So I don't think certain things are going to change. So it's what it is. I think even if they did bring it to the attention like the Washington Redskins. You know, they would have probably put it under the rug, just like Jameis in the crab legs. You know, so.
Also another story for another day. But I also did want to talk about UFC, man. UFC's got like probably one of the biggest cards maybe ever coming up on Saturday. I mean, the fact that you got basically three championship face-offs. This is gonna be something that is gonna be worth seeing. I know, Wes, you probably not into UFC as much as me and Chris are, but you're probably gonna want to stay up late and watch this one, and it will be late because they're gonna drag it out. It's probably not gonna get to the main fights until like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna be honest with you. But Amanda Nunes, obviously the pound for pound best female fighter in the game right now. She currently holds 2 belts right now. I mean, she knocked out Cyborg a while back. I mean, she was good before that, but that's what really kind of put her on the map, because Cyborg was just who, is probably questionable if she's even a woman or not, but but just by the way she looks, I'm not trying to start no rumors or anything, but everybody thought that about Cyborg. If you watch Cyborg, everybody was like, yo, is this really a woman? Because
it don't even matter now, because I mean, Biden signed that.
Took steroids or something, but whatever. But yeah, that's another story. But yeah, Amanda Nunes whooped that, but a couple of, was it a year ago? Might have been over a year ago when she took out Cyborg. She had a couple other fights as well, defending her title. So to see her in action finally again after, I mean, COVID, you've barely seen a lot of other fighters fight, and the female fights are usually better than the male fights. When you watch UFC and like there's a male main card and there's usually a female undercard, that female undercard is usually more exciting than the male card usually.
The female got to work a little harder than the males in everything,
Right. There's not as many big knockouts, like few like first round knockouts in the female game. So I'm excited to see her, and of course I'm excited to see the kid, man, Adesanya, the Nigerian who is undefeated right now. He's in Mayweather territory right now, and I believed he changed weight classes to fight this fight. So he's really trying to show he's not afraid of anybody. So those 2 fights in particular are going to be fantastic. I know Chris may want to chime in a little bit more about these fights.
Yeah, y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Adesanya, he's actually Australian by way of Nigerian. I think like his parents are Nigerian, but he was born like an Australian. But Wes, you would like this kid. He's a young, flashy kid, talks shit. He fucking backs it up with his fighting. He's a toe-to-toe dude. He's like more Muay Thai. So he's a Muay Thai boxing. That's like his strength. But yeah, man, the kid's a beast. He's moving up to, I think, this is like heavy, like light heavyweight. I think he's moving up to light heavyweight, challenging Jan Blachowicz, some big Polish white dude. And I mean, in my opinion, I think the white dude is used to fighting at that weight, but he's slower. Izzy is faster. Izzy's more accurate with his hands. Israel Adesanya, and I don't know, man. I think this should be easy work for Israel Adesanya, but it's still a different weight class, and we've never seen him at this weight class. Now, what I want to set up is if he wins this fight and John Jones wins his next fight, they might be fighting each other. Because them motherfuckers been jaw-jacking at each other. Excuse my French. They've been jaw-jacking at each other for a little bit. John Jones is actually leaving the light heavyweight and going up to heavyweight. to try to get a double title over there. And Israel Adesanya is leaving middleweight to go up to light heavyweight where John Jones used to be and take the title over there. So they've been talking shit to each other a little bit. So this will, if Israel Adesanya wins, this will set up a perfect fucking fight with John Jones.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that would be like the fight of the year, to be honest. If that happens, John Jones, obviously we know who John Jones is, and Tanya, who's John Jones seems like he just seems like he's unbeatable at this point of his career. He seems to be unbeatable. Like on the ground, his ground game is just, he's like a little snake on the ground. You know, he just moves, and before you know it, he's choking you out, or you know, he's making you submit somehow, some way. Adesanya has got sneaky power. You know, like he doesn't look like he's got all of this power, but he does. And what will really be interesting to see is how much power he can generate with the more weight. You know, like since he's going up in weight, is he going to generate even more power? Now, I don't know too much about this other fighter though, Chris. So, like, can you tell me a little bit more about this other fighter? And
I mean, that the Polish dude, he's got heavy ass hands. Like I said, he might be too slow for Israel Adesanya, but I think for him to win, he's got to get more Adesanya inside the clinch. You know what I mean? Like grab him a little bit, rough him up, you know, get him inside his guard, and then maybe like throw an elbow at him or grab him, push him off real quick and throw a shot. But if Izzy stays on his toes and stays like boxing and stays like away from him, and just, I think Israel Adesanya could pick him apart. But this dude, he's a strong fucking Polish motherfucker, man. Like if he catches you, he's gonna catch you. So if he catches Adesanya, it's lights out. You know what I mean?
yeah. So I believe if he wins this fight, he'll have 2 belts, right? Adesanya. Yeah. So
pretty much he'll have the light heavyweight, and he'll have the middleweight.
Right. And I believe the only other male fighter to do that was McGregor, right? To have like 2 fights in 2 different weight classes.
No, he was the first one. Then after him, Daniel Cormier did it, and the other dude did it. The young dude. I mean, not the young dude. The little dude. I already forgot his name. They're like, they're like fighting at ant weight. He's like an Olympic wrestler. What's his name? The King of Cringe. Fuck, I already forgot his name. But yeah, he retired not too long ago. He's got a big head. Whatever.
Yeah. So it would be unprecedented territory. So it's really just that alone is something to watch out for. Can he get the 2 belts, and can Nunes retain her 2 belts? So it's going to be a really interesting fight coming up on Saturday. Do you know anything about the third fight? Because I feel like the third one's a big one too.
Yeah, there's 3 title fights. The third one is Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. Peter Yan is he's another Eastern European. I don't know exactly what it is. He's not Polish, but he's one of those Eastern Europeans. But he's the champion. He's a beast. Aljamain Sterling, I believe, is American with like Jamaican parents. So he's like, you know, Jamaican American. Yeah. He's a strong fighter too, but I think Aljamain Sterling is more of a wrestler. This dude Peter Yan is like, man, I don't know what they're doing over there in Eastern Europe, but they're bringing out some athletes, man. Because basketball, boxing, MMA, these motherfuckers, they're doing pretty good right now. But yeah, that dude Peter Yan, he's legit. So it should be a good fight too. I think if Aljamain Sterling gets him on the ground, Peter Yan might have a long night, but if Peter Yan keeps it up on the feet, he'll probably knock him out.
All right, so we'll look forward to that. UFC 259. We got 3 headline championship fights going down, and you know, just there's a lot of belts on the line. So I'm looking forward to that. The last thing we had as far as topics we wanted to touch on, well, we had a couple more. Kyrie Irving and John Wall have been rumored to you know, be coming to the Miami Heat.
Not Kyrie. What's his name?
I'm sorry, not Kyrie Irving. Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry. not Mike Lowry, but Lowry, you know, and John Wall are possibly rumored to the Heat. I know me and Wes kind of probably feel the same about this, but I don't like either one of them
Me
to
neither.
be a part of this team because Kyle Lowry he's a good player. I think he's better than what people really give him credit for.
I don't think so.
Without him, they likely do not win that championship with Toronto because he was the main one coming up big in the biggest moment in the final game. John Wall is a player who I haven't really seen what he's doing this season, but I'm sure he's a shell of what he used to be back in the day. Back in the day, he used to be a beast. He was like, to me, he was like a young D Wade as far as how fast he was, back in the day. But then, he's been out for like 2 years. So can you really trust a player to come and really perform at a high level? And then at the same time, who you gonna take out and put one of these players in? You gonna take out Dragic? Nah. You gonna take out Butler? Nah. Kendrick Nunn? Nah. Not Tyler Hero. These budding stars that could be even great, or established stars that you already know are great. Why would you bring in these type of players? And they're gonna have a heavy price tag. So I really don't like either one of those players coming to the Miami Heat. Although these are just rumors, rumors do turn into real deals after a while. I mean, and by the way, Russell Wilson is on the trading block right now for real, which is crazy, which was a rumor a while ago. Like, yeah, he's thinking about these teams, and then he gave you a list of teams, and now Seattle's actually listening to trade rumors to trade Russell Wilson, definitely a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. So you never know what this could grow to. It could grow to something like that, but I don't like that he even looking at either one of these two players.
Yeah, me too. I mean, piggybacking off what you're saying, you got John Wall injured for the last 2 years, so of course he's a shell of himself. I had one of my partners, he had surgery, and he said that he wish he never had surgery, because he's still not the same. Same thing going back to, these players, once people put that knife on you, yeah, you may heal, but you're not going to be the person you was when you didn't have to go through that process. So, and not just that, I really don't want to pick up that contract that he has. I think the Wizard was happy to give away that contract because it's like it's kind of like we're putting ourselves back into the Hassan Whiteside situation with money wise. And then I know that he's not a free agent. Obviously, we're gonna have to trade somebody away or a few players away. So I don't want to trade anyone for him, a person that's been injured the last 2 years. In regards to your knee or anything else, like, once you injure your knee, like you're definitely not the same. You see D Wade, even though we had maintenance process with him, I think he kind of was like the first person to do the maintenance process, but me personally, I think also with Kyle Lowry, like, I think he's trash. You feel me? Yeah, I hear what you're saying about the finals run, and he was one of the pivotal pieces to them actually winning that championship. But I always see him, and I don't like floppers. He's a big flopper. You know what I'm saying? He's the biggest actor in the world, and I can't respect people with a game like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, it's one thing to draw the foul. It's another thing when you're flopping. That's why I don't respect his game, and I don't want him to be part of this culture, because it's just going to show our young players that we have, that we do place value in, that, oh, this is what works. And really, that's not Miami Heat's, MO. You seen Jimmy Butler. He tried it, and that was the worst acting that he did, in the history of the NBA. When he fell on the floor and then he grabbed his back of his head and he peeked and he this and that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like we don't.
It reminded me of my soccer players, man. Like, that's the other thing about soccer players. They're dramatic as hell, bro. Like, when they fall around and get hurt, or like they roll around on the ground and make a left, and pick up something at McDonald's and then roll around. That's how much rolling around a soccer player would do, and yeah, I agree with you about Kyle Lowry. He does flop. That's been well documented. Another reason why I don't want Kyle Lowry on this team. I just pulled up the 2022 NBA free agent list. I'm gonna share that with you right now.
Okay.
And to be honest, there's some interesting names on this list.
You said 2022?
Yeah, the 22 list of the free agents. So of course, John Wall's up there. James Harden, you think is likely probably going to sign with the Nets again. Russell Westbrook. I mean, I love Russell Westbrook as a player, but I don't think I want him on my team. Kevin Durant, obviously, probably going to be re-signed. Steph Curry going to be re-signed. Chris Paul, he's at the end of an era. Bradley Beal. I'd love to see Bradley Beal in a Heat uniform. I'm not going to lie to you. Jimmy Butler, we all know we're going to re-sign him. Kemba Walker.
No.
He's trash. But
flopper too. He's the worst flopper in the world.
I wouldn't mind seeing Kemba Walker either. Kawhi Leonard, they're going to re-sign him. Blake Griffin, he's actually officially a free agent now. I just saw news that the Detroit Pistons decided to let him go, so he can actually be picked up right now. But that's another player I wouldn't want to see on the Heat, just because unless he comes down on the price, maybe, if we can get him for the low, why not? Another big man that could rebound and, make a shot here and there. But is he really worth the money? I don't think so. Kyrie Irving, you got to think they're going to re-sign him. Drew Holiday, I'm not really a big believer in him. Gary Harris, I don't even know who that is. Julius Randle. Julius Randle is a decent player. I think I got to see more of him. I wouldn't invest in him right now. I think I have to see a couple more years of consistency. Aaron Gordon, really known for the slam dunk contest. He's really inconsistent as a basketball player. And then you got Zach LaVine, who we touched about earlier. Anybody on that list you
feeling? Not really. I mean, I think about Kyrie, but then I think about our young players, and I'm like, he's gonna take time from them, like the Nuns. So that's a no. Kawhi is the only one that I probably would want. Someone that can be like a good defender with Jimmy Butler. You do know our young players. He plays great defense. So that's cool. So is either I would look forward to seeing like Kawhi, probably Bradley Beal, or even, I wouldn't mind John Wall if he's a free agent. I wouldn't mind Russell Westbrook if he's a free agent, because you gotta kind of see that Goran Dragic is on his way out, because he's an older player. He's, to be honest with you, like he's been injured, since the bubble, and that's a problem. So I would, either go with those people. Everyone else, I ain't really feeling too much, but yeah, John Wall, cool. James Harden also is a good thing. Also, it can be a quick win a championship with Brooklyn and then go do your own thing. I would love to see that. LeBron don't get a championship, he wins it, and then he comes back to Miami and try to do his own thing. Exactly what Kevin Durant did. Went to Golden State, won it, and then now he's doing his own thing. So, yeah, James Harden is the one that I really, really want more than anything, because he's a real scorer. You feel me? He's Tyler Hero, with a little bit more poise, with the veteran savvy. He, of course, he got that jumper, that step back that people can't block, even though they know that he's gonna do that. That's kind of what Dwayne Wade did. And yeah, so those are the people, that I would kind of really want, as a free agent, so.
All right, so let's get into some hip hop, man. So So versus battles are still, a thing that's going on, and it seems to me that they're gonna have Ghostface Killer of Wu-Tang battle against Raekwon from Wu-Tang. Now, if you're a hip hop guy and if you're a Wu-Tang guy, even if you're a semi Wu-Tang guy, you should know that Ghostface and Raekwon basically did like 3 albums together. Made like Iron Man, Only Built for Cuban Links, Only Built for Cuban Links 2.
Cuban Links was come on.
They did that album together. I mean, I didn't really look at that album as just a Raekwon album or just a Ghostface album. I felt like it was both of them because damn near both of them was on every track. It's like putting Andre 3000 against Big Boy from Outkast. Like, how you gonna do that? It's a little unfair. And I understand the marketing strategy behind it. Like if you're a Wu-Tang fan, you're gonna tune in. Like, why not? Because you're gonna see a good show and you're gonna hear a lot of great songs that you used to grow up on in the 90s. So that aspect of it is cool. But as far as it being a battle, it's not gonna have the juice that it had that the Jeezy Gucci battle.
No, of course not.
Or even the other ones like DMX and Snoop. It's not gonna have that type of juice to it because these were two with DMX and Snoop in particular, these were two rappers in their time, two different coasts, and they dominated for like a good 2 years. Like there was nobody touching those two rappers in their given eras. Now these two,
they never dominated the music.
They never really dominated an era like that. Wu-Tang as a whole dominated an era, but you can't say Wu-Tang without Meth. You know what I'm saying? You can't say Wu-Tang without
ODB
or ODB. Come on, man. Like they were just pieces of a greater team. They were like, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. On they're just two pieces of a really good team, But
everybody remember Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly. Everybody remembers Method Man the most when it comes to Wu-Tang.
And ODB.
So, or ODB or RZA if you're really thinking about who really orchestrated the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man. As far as a battle concerned, it's like I don't even know who's really gonna win or whatnot.
Same people.
As far as rappers concerned, I personally like Ghostface as a rapper a little bit better than Raekwon.
Me too.
So if I had to say if someone's gonna win the battle, I would say probably Ghostface. He has probably a little bit larger of a catalog that I like from my liking. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed with the setup if that's what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Me, I mean, I'll try to watch it if I remember, but
yeah,
I'll try to watch it. But again, like you said, these aren't the people that I be trying to watch majority of the time. You feel me? Like, I mean, I'm not sure if people even remember their tracks. I know Ghostface Killer with when he made his comeback with Neo, you feel me, Back Like That featuring Neo. Yeah, that was hard. You feel me? Like I really was messing with that track. But again, I look at it and I'm like, it's not really giving me that extra push where where people having their versus parties and I like. If I catch it, I catch it. If I don't, I don't. I mean, I really think it would have been better, like you were saying earlier off of camera before we actually started recording, if it would have been, Ghostface and Raekwon versus Method Man and Redman. Of course it's going against, Wu-Tang because they're all Wu-Tang besides Redman. I think he's an undercover Wu-Tang Clan member. He just don't want to be for real because he like look. But again, I think that would have been a better battle, if they would have did it like that, or Method Man versus Redman.
Yeah, that would be a good battle.
Because even though they're the same and they normally have a lot of music with each other. Everybody knows Redman on his own without Meth. Same thing, Meth without Redman. but I'm not used to Raekwon or Ghostface by themselves. I'm normally seeing them with Wu-Tang or together. So it's kind of hard for me to kind of like be like, hey, it is what it is. Again, I said that one song when he made his comeback with Neo, it was a hard video too, but it is what it is. If I catch it, I catch it.
I just hope he comes out with the eagle on his arm, like the golden eagle. Just winning with that. He could just drop it and just be out, and he just won the battle just like that. Because
exactly. I really think that they have a versus battle right now with D'Angelo is on there. I don't know who he's actually facing. D'Angelo is on right now. I actually just checked, and I see that they're setting up. So I don't know who he's actually battling.
Check that out. I did hear that Drake dropped the EP today. A couple of songs I haven't heard.
Drake, I'm sorry, but I think your run is over.
Who, Drake?
I think his run is over I think he still makes great music, but I think that,
Go ahead.
I think his run is like over as far as being the number one artist that's out. I really think that, he played his card. It's kind of like with Nicki Minaj. She was here and they found a way to boot her. They got Cardi B. You feel me? So yeah, you got Drake. He still makes great music. Same thing like Nicki Minaj. But I really do think that his time as being the number one artist, like for months on end or weeks on end, I think is gone. I still think he's gonna come out with some good music, but I do think that he knows it. He knows it, and that's the reason why he kind of when someone's on stage, he try to make a guest appearance. But again, you're trying to not steal some of the fans, but try to steal some of the fans. You feel me? But again, it is what it is. I didn't even hear the track, so I don't really have too much to say about it.
I didn't hear it either, but I don't think his run is over. I think what you more so is saying is that he's peaked. Like he had his peak a couple years ago, and we don't see him really getting back to that type of status. And I think the same thing with Nicki. Lil Wayne had a time where he kind of peaked, and it's kind of hard to imagine Lil Wayne getting back to that status again, or Nicki getting to that status, or Drake getting to that status again. But I don't think it's over. I think he's still gonna put out hits because
that's all I'm saying. I don't think he's done. I just think as being the number one artist for months on end, or for the whole year, I think that run is done. You're gonna have different artists like look, you got Spot 'em, got him right now. He's number one. You got certain people. Kodak Black just came back out of prison. You have Bobby Shmurda that just came back out. You got certain people that did time, and they were the ones that was on top, especially like Bobby Shmurda. He was the one on top of Migos, on top of Drake before he got locked up. I would say still Drake was a better rapper, but at that time, 7 years ago, I think Bobby Shmurda was a little bit further. Again, even if you look at the old videos with like Migos and Bobby Shmurda, they're not the same Migos. They don't have the same jewelry. They don't have the same money. So it is what it is. I don't think that he's done, but I think he peaked, like you said.
Does Drake make your top 50 rappers?
Of course, but then I'm not sure because he don't rap. He don't write all his music.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna say he's trash, but I ain't gonna say that you're better than people that really put the work in.
Okay.
So, and not saying that you don't put the work in, you do, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think that's our cue to wrap this thing up. Tyson was like, "Hey, man, it's time." By the way, Tyson is this huge Doberman that Wes got. He looks scary as all hell, but he's a nice little doggy who's got energy times 1,000. And will knock you over with that energy if you're not paying attention.
Exactly. He's like, he don't even know his own strength. So
But yeah, another great podcast, Wes. I think that's a wrap on everything. We'll see what happens All-Star Weekend. And I hate you for making me root for LeBron, but I'm gonna be rooting for LeBron this weekend just so I could be right, you know. But I think they take home the win, but we'll see what happens. That's the wrap on the MarcWes.
Hold up, I could have sworn you had like a something that you had going on Sunday. You don't want to go and kind of chime in on that real quick, or we'll
I'm not gonna
hold it for another day.
We'll until the next episode, man. Until the next episode
Okay.
On that. All right.
All right, cool. So that concludes, again, you know, Marcus tried to say it, but that concludes the MarcWes Sport Podcast for today. I'm one of your hosts, Wesley Pierre. You got Marcus Benjamin right there holding it down also. You know, you see us in orange, you know, so you know we stay represented.
Hey, happy 305 day, baby. It's 305.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Baby.
Pollo Tropical, they sent me something saying that you get a Tropi Chop for $3.05.
Okay.
I was like, it's all good.
Right now.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up dinner right now. Y'all gonna go ahead and watch this on YouTube, you know, and you're gonna listen to us on different platforms like Spotify and Google Play and Apple Play, you know. But yeah, again, thanks for being one of the loyal members, you know, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Peace.